We all have dream jobs, and deep down, we probably want to have jobs that are validated and admired by others. Oh, I see. I see, Jeremy. This is where we're going today. Okay. But some jobs, on the other hand, they don't bring the recognition and are looked down upon. Why is that? Why do I sound like I'm reading an SPM karangan? Well, today, we try to talk about it on Table Talk Podcast. Yeah, welcome back. First, before we begin, before we begin,
Yes.
at this time of recording, the SPM result just came out yesterday.
Yes,
Yes,
indeed.
all right. Congratulations to
Congratulations, children. You are children no longer.
everyone.
Not really.
Death is encroaching.
They haven't even hit their 20s yet.
They're 17. They're 17.
They're getting there.
SPM is only.
It doesn't mean shit, lah. Okay. So wake up and smell the damn coffee. Okay.
Yeah.
SPM does hands up at this table. I already know, but hands up at this table. If you scored full A's for SPM, put up your damn hand, Mega.
I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't. I dropped one. I was off by one.
Cricket sound.
Bible knowledge doesn't count.
I didn't take Bible knowledge.
What do you
is
not
Bible
get?
knowledge?
I dropped Bible knowledge in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah. What do you not get A for?
I can't remember, but I know I dropped one.
It wasn't important, lah, obviously.
So you got A for everything
You got
else.
A for everything else.
I didn't get A for
All his
Sejarah.
sciences.
That is
F
so
lah.
sad.
Our history is already
This is the
skewed,
worst
lah.
day.
Funny thing, I had a stomachache during Sejarah and I finished the paper in 5 minutes.
Oh, you see, that's
And
why.
I got a B. So that just speaks
Okay,
about
this
the
guy is
education system.
flexing.
Nope.
Like
trust
he's
me,
a
it's
Siamese
bad.
cat.
Some of the questions I just put one line like that and I'm very sure I got a B. Because I was so pain, I had to go to the toilet already.
Why
I
didn't
just
you go and come back and do it?
cannot. I just told myself I'm going to go home. And I called mom come pick me
Oh,
up.
you went? Oh,
I
yeah,
went home.
You did.
I went home. I had food poisoning, guys.
Sophia, you want to share with us what you got for
Tough
SPM?
life on the right over here.
He got
Wait.
all A's.
No, I did not. I
Minus history.
B pluses.
I either had 8 or 7 A's. But it make no difference.
so sad.
It just make no difference, guys. There's no difference.
Sophia, you want to share with us your...
Name ends with A though.
I
So Fear A,
got no A's
IRA.
because I didn't do SBM.
Oh, talk to us about that private school privilege.
Really?
I did homeschooling.
Oh.
So I did an American program. They went by like
Wow.
grades and then you go towards SATs, which I did not do as well.
So what
Shout out
did you
people.
do? So what did you do?
I learned 17 years later
thought you
that I wasted
I thought you were saying I
a
learned the
couple
hard
of
way.
years.
Oh.
No, I switched to O levels.
Oh.
And it was a pretty last minute decision. So I had to
That's crazy.
crunch everything that I needed to learn within like half a year
Right.
to sit for
a
about
2-year syllabus in half a year.
5 papers.
All right, next me. What about you, Ace?
I
Jeremy's shouting at us in the documents. So let's go.
I knew that education was a state of mind.
Okay, that's crazy.
Just like happiness.
That's not how you want to start this podcast.
Okay.
It's really clean at the back if you're watching the YouTube
We're still
episode.
here because
There's
it's not time to go down yet.
There's
But we
been a
got some
huge-
great stuff recently.
Oh,
Oh.
y'all! Jerry, you give them a little, give them
No.
a one-liner of what you feel
About the new set.
best describes the new set.
Oh my gosh.
Elegance.
Elephants.
What a man.
Today, we want to talk about jobs.
But
Hey.
speaking about jobs, there's one more shout out. Happy Father's Day.
Steve
Happy
Jobs,
Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
the father of Apple.
We'll
Thank
get
you
to
very
Father's Day at
much.
the end.
Oh, we'll get to Father's Day at the end.
Oh,
okay,
we take
so
it back. It's not Father's Day yet.
Being a dad is a great day full-time job. I'm just trying to stick the
segues are
script.
crazy.
What were your dream jobs growing up? Today we're talking about jobs, and I think it's quite a nice time because SPM just ended. You should not be thinking about jobs right now, so there's no segue from that.
You should,
No, it's just the foundation.
Some people should
Some
just start
people
working.
do.
Actually, if you want, if you're the Gary V hustle type, like just work.
Yeah, just work.
Develop certain skills.
That
Go
is
and work
just-
in
Still
F&B.
ripe.
Just
Plug into the podcast we talked about F&B.
bookmark this podcast for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
Go and pick up a skill that the robots can't do. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
Ooh.
What were your dream jobs growing up, guys? Let's just take a quick gander.
At the table. Dream job. I wanted to be a wildlife photographer and a marine biologist.
Wow.
And then I realized I'm scared of the ocean. In recent years, I realized that I'm not comfortable swimming with fish.
But you can study them.
I can.
You can go
see
in
them
the
in an aquarium.
But what if you're
Afar.
in the submarine?
I'm okay. That one I'm completely okay.
But if you're right down at the depths
yeah, I'm
of
okay.
black,
That one I'm okay. As long as I don't have to be in like physically in the water.
the cage.
The also cannot.
The shark cage.
Ah,
I'm okay. If I'm inside something and I'm dry, I'm okay.
interesting.
Yeah. And
Uh,
then wildlife photography is just like I take great pictures.
of influences, which is also wildlife photography in some sense.
I think the only thing that I can't get behind with the wildlife photography is like when you actually look at it, Nat Geo photographers are on assignment for like years,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And I can't do that because like
You haven't tried.
no, it's not just that.
Oh.
Also, but I haven't tried because I know I can't.
No,
And like
no, no, you
I can't live in the jungles of
Right.
the Amazons
But you can.
to document the
The bugs.
red-crested parrot. I can't. Where's my comfort?
Never try, never know. The comfort is
I can't.
you document it for the whole world, and the whole will be like, that's right there.
I feel like I would do it over like maybe a week max and then come back with splintered pieces and then like, what's the story you want to tell? I don't even know if it's the same, but like
You just got a random red blood flying across the
there's
sky.
like 6 of the parrot, and then the other 4 is just like selfies of you and the raccoons. Like, yeah.
Quality content.
Wildlife. What about you, Tom? What the F? What is your dream job? What was your dream job? I mean,
It's a bit more, okay, like I can't say realistic, but I
Wow.
always wanted to be a
A
writer.
dancer.
huh?
Actually, I did, okay. I wanted to be a writer
Okay.
and a dancer at one point of my life.
Wow.
A dancer?
Yeah, because
I guess
when
we
I
need
was younger,
demonstrations.
I'm good. Thanks. You got to think of the people.
I am
on
thinking of the
Spotify. You can't watch it.
That's why you got tuned to YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. A writer and a dancer.
No, but yeah, at a young age, because
Okay.
I heard about LaSalle, which is a dance
Oh,
school
yeah,
in
yeah.
Singapore.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I could do that because I was learning tap and ballet growing up.
Truly.
But then
A
we
connoisseur.
learned that it costs a lot of money, and we're like,
shit, no.
we're out.
We're out.
And then I
like
also
that.
wanted to be a writer because
You are a writer.
I looked up to my elder sister a lot, and
She can read.
Actually,
Is she like
Wow.
taller than you or?
no, she's shorter.
She's the
I'm the tallest
one
girl in the family.
It doesn't even make sense.
At a whole
I need to meet your
5
family.
foot two.
Towering 5'2".
Yes, just looking down on the
Sometimes
family.
when she struggles to like walk through doors, like she has to really duck down.
Yeah.
She comes
Yeah.
over and like, family, where you guys? Oop, not home, and everyone is just.
You know, like that TikTok video of like that Chinese girl who just like struggles walking between two people, but she's like a stick. Can't say it's not
I know.
relatable content,
Yeah,
but
sorry.
anyway.
Okay, so you want to
Yes.
be a writer? What kind of writer? Like the novel publisher writer?
Well, I think at a young age or so, I realized, okay, I want to do creative writing, but it's hard to make a living out of that.
You were very
And
wise for a young.
And so I was like, you know what? I'll go the editorial route
Right,
to go
right.
into publishing. And I ended up doing that. So I went into Blue Ink.
Fashion publishing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I was a big
I had no dreams when I was young, so my life was a series of nightmares. I had no ambition. So
up, what?
moving on, certain careers.
What about yourself?
I had no dream job.
Do you want to be Ultraman?
That was a job. That was not a job. That was like superhero.
It's the life calling.
I wanted at some point. I believe if I jumped off a surface high enough, I would become Ultraman.
Wow.
Because they always seem to
Constantly.
jump off something, right? And then like because last
hold
time
up.
they had no
That's
VFX,
not still
so
now,
they had to
right?
like jump, right? And then like they would land transformed. So I tested day by day. I raised one step off the stairs and I started jumping.
Hey, that's ambition.
That's a plan. That's a plan right
It's
there.
something that we could take there. I'm not gonna say what though.
I honestly, honest to goodness, I don't remember or recall having a dream job growing up.
Not even like fireman
Nope.
or like
Or
princess.
what? I want to become fireman.
What about you, princess?
Actually,
Jeremy, do you have a dream job?
I really don't have a dream job, but I've tried doing many things growing up, trying to make that a job.
You fiddle with a career sticks,
Yeah, like
right?
I wanted to be a singer.
Sorry, what's the career thing?
I don't know.
a
I just
musician.
never mind this kid.
You want to be a singer and musician?
or
Right,
a musician.
Or what,
Oh, I would have loved to become a performer.
What-
yeah, so like a performer
what
basically.
instrument you play? Besides
I
piano?
used piano, just
Hey
piano.
guys, piano. Jem is a damn good pianist.
No, I'm not a good pianist.
He's like,
and then at one point I wanted to be a YouTuber also.
you did.
And I don't know.
Who's to say you aren't?
You successfully are,
You are.
on YouTube, part of the podcast.
Look at you.
No,
Look at
but
you.
then-
Full circle.
Yeah, full
Jeremy
circle.
was at the first ever fan meet that the YouTubers ever had, and it was called OMG back in 2000.
Oh my
2000
god!
what? 2000.
Wow, very long time
like I
ago.
want to
But
say
last time I used
12,
to
14.
watch it, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I'll go, and I was nearby.
and Jeremy was seated like right in the front. he was small. We.
Look at you now,
Look at
sitting
you
right
now.
and
Look at
in
Look
the
at
front.
you now running the damn show, bro. Wow.
at you.
I'm very immune
You
now.
will plan the next event. I just say first, okay?
Oh,
the next
shit.
time there's an event, you're
No,
gonna
we're
be
gonna
Man.
plan something.
welcome everyone. My name is Jeremy.
And I was where you were.
Speaking
8
of
years ago.
where you were 8 years ago, I have absolutely no connection. But some careers, I just want to say, okay, some are dream jobs and some
yeah,
are not.
yeah.
Some are not.
No, you
alright?
just hear all of the jobs we just said.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
all like
dreamy
jobs.
accolade-ish
That's why they're called dream jobs,
dream.
right?
Let's talk about the other kind of Ds. Not that kind of Ds, but the 3D jobs. Don't ask me. Jeremy wrote this. Obviously, his
okay,
dream job
yeah.
wasn't a writer. The 3D jobs. There's some jobs that
wants to be.
I like how you just ignored the sentence before that and
there's
just looked at
certain
the three jobs.
jobs that some people won't label as dream jobs. Obviously, the 3D jobs, according to Jeremy, quote Jeremy 2022, the dirty, dangerous, and difficult. Also, what they call me. These are the 3D jobs.
You're the 3D job.
So I'm the 3D jobs. They call me 4D now. But dirty, dangerous, and difficult job. Have you done any of these kind of jobs before? I'm pretty sure if you work part-time at some
Yes.
point in your life.
Okay, maybe define what are some
Dirty-
of those jobs.
Okay, very common is like cleaners.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You could also count like construction workers. Dangerous. You can call even waiters, waitresses might be difficult.
I would say
They're difficult and dirty.
and
Yeah,
difficult.
and dirty. Dishwashers.
Basically, what did they call this? There's white collar, blue collar. Is it called blue collar jobs?
Yes.
If I'm mistaken, yes.
Okay. Like the really labor intensive jobs. Have you done
Manual work.
part-timing?
Yes.
Yes.
We all have.
Actually, I've always wanted to be a waitress.
Dan-
or like I always
a
wanted
dancing,
to work.
A dancing writing waitress. New York is calling you.
I'm just
Safira.
getting flashbacks of Johnny Rockets. And then like the waitresses.
That would be my dream job.
I just every time they dance, right? You just
My
like,
favorite part about them dancing is how sad they look.
Oh wow, that was
remember
Is
the
it the
curve?
one
Remember
in-
the curve?
there
That
was
the
also one
Johnny
in Sorry
Rockets.
Pyramid.
Yeah.
They have to. Whatever. I don't know what the trigger is.
Come on.
No,
But
but I
they
thought
will
it's
dance.
like
It's like at a certain.
every
But
hour. No.
It's so awkward because if the speakers don't work properly, right, you can hear them breathing.
Was it every hour?
It was every hour on the
Every
hour.
hour.
No, but okay, when it was just opened, right? I
It was wild.
remember
They were
going and they
enthusiastic.
were so into
They
it.
were, they were.
I was
Okay,
into it.
but you have to know they were probably the first batch of workers
Correct.
who like really like
knew the
wanted-
choreography, yeah.
they were trained to do it, and
Yeah.
also they were probably excited.
Then they left.
Then they got burned out.
Then they found out that I cannot dance for
Correct.
so many times.
But they would have one guy in the center, and this was in the curve, and this was in Sunway Pyramid, and his whacking skills were just like
I can hear
he
him.
was.
I don't know. I focus
he was
on
on
them.
it, man.
I can hear them breathing every time they dance.
How near are they dancing to
Quite
each
close to the tables, I would say, because they have to spread out among the store.
So
Let's move on.
we were just
Like,
gonna.
my waiter took a sip of my drink after he was done, because he was just out of it.
Speaking of, it's the worst job to. All right, some of these jobs don't get as much recognition as
Yeah.
we would like. I mean, other than working as a dancer in Johnny Rockets, and there's reason for it. I mean, people just like we mentioned previously, it's a looked down upon job. Mainly because like, one of the reasons, Jeremy has graciously put here, is bad compensation.
Yeah.
I'm dancing
Let's
every
talk
hour.
about it specifically
no
in this
tips.
country,
Yeah.
because I think that's the comparison that we want to be
I mean,
drawing as well.
I only can compare to this country. I'm not sure about
No,
outside.
as in like some of these jobs, like
Right.
being a waiter or a plumber or a construction worker.
Oh, if you put it that way.
Yeah, in
Okay.
Malaysia,
Okay,
is
yeah.
particularly like
Pain.
you're not just your parents will be like, you don't work, you end up like that, right? And that's terrible.
Yeah.
When did jobs become like you shouldn't?
As soon as you were born into Asian household.
It's true.
That's
shit.
really it. I think
That's all for the podcast.
That's
No, but first let's tackle the bad compensation.
I
thing,
really
right?
am.
okay,
Call me a
bad
tackler.
compensation. So we all know what compensation is, right? You do something, you're compensated for it. Basically, that's
Pay.
your pay.
It's pay,
okay?
money, salary.
So at times you can be badly compensated for his jobs, but there are other non-3D jobs. I like how Jeremy has just made 3D jobs a thing, like 3D movies.
No, it is a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a phrase, yeah.
Well, slap me upside down. I didn't know that. Can be barely compensated as well. Even with the higher pay, it seems like there aren't people who are interested in these jobs based on the news. And,
It's true.
and something that has happened during the COVID season and out of the COVID season is a lot of labor-intensive jobs. And very graciously also, Jeremy, you put news article cuttings. Kana Curry House woos Malaysians to fill waiter vacancies with a free iPhone.
Wow.
And shorter working hours.
Free iPhone to become
so how this works is because they're trying to get workers, Malaysian workers, but
no one wants
to be a waiter.
Yeah.
So how they made it, incentivized it, is that they allow you to sign up. They give you shorter working hours, to reduce the barrier of entry.
Yeah.
And also provide an iPhone, but you need to work for 6 months.
Yeah.
But how they even incentivize it even more is that they said that their pay is given every end of the week.
That's crazy.
Wow.
This
So
one,
it's not even a month.
This next one is a bit more known. I mean, we were joking about it as well. Dishwasher jobs in Singapore, 3,000 SGD monthly salary.
Wow.
Dishwasher jobs. That's
more than I'm earning now,
10,000 ringgit.
Not even 3,000, it's 3.5K.
3.5.
Nobody wanted to take the job until it hit that amount.
Gosh. But that just kind of puts it in perspective, right? How reliant are we on foreign workers for cheap labor in this region? Until a point where now no one wants to do the jobs. Oh, suddenly we're becoming like Australia, because Australians don't really use as much, I mean, from the place where we go, right?
Yeah.
That's why like waiters get paid so much, plumbers get paid so much. I guess it's also, good point. Social stigma. So in reality, social stigma is the one thing that deters people from pursuing these jobs. Yeah, like growing up in an Asian household, the teachers, Asian household, Asian school, right? I don't know. Teachers will always tell you, you don't study, you go wash toilet. You don't study, you go sweep the road. And then it's just like, I'm pretty sure some of my friends, the parents here do this, but teacher, you want to say this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Why is it? Why do you guys think sweeping the road and clean the toilet is a social stigma? Honest question.
I feel like, there are so many layers to it other than, compensation would be one part, right?
Right.
Because
Low-paying jobs.
Yeah, it's like, you can't accomplish anything. You're, let's say, uneducated in a certain sense.
Right.
So you're only worthy to get this much amount. And so it like equivalates there.
Yeah.
But it's also, I feel like adults, government, whatever you want to say, it's the treatment that they have towards prioritizing people as well.
Right. Yeah.
Because we always have this conversation where we compare like overseas, right? And where the locals see the value in these jobs because they are treated well and they are paid well. True. And it's not even just that, like the priority comes when there's proper training to do these things. Like if you look at our construction people, like sometimes they're hanging off the walls and I'm like,
on rough just
anything could happen at any moment. And
that's true.
it's like, it's not their responsibility to have those safety measures for themselves or have that kind of training for themselves. Mm-hmm. It's like the people in charge who should be caring for them. So it's the same even for, say, waitressing or like, working in a restaurant and things like that. You go to places that have terrible service, for example. Yeah. But it's like, it's not entirely on them because a lot of places don't have training or they don't care. They just take you for the job because, okay, you're paid this much. I'm going to put this much effort into you as well. And then like, that's the job.
What, other than waitress, give me an example of what you think a low social stigma job is.
Plumber.
Some more? What else? Go.
Cleaner.
A grocery store worker or cashier.
Okay, I tell you what. What if, right? Your indoor water truck driver.
Sewage
work. But the pay per month is 6,000 ringgit for starting pay. Would you do it?
I would consider it, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're a bit woke on this place, lah. Where are all the shallow people at? Okay.
I still won't actually.
You still? Oh, yes. Thank you, Jeremy. Why?
Because personally, it's dirty and I think
6,000 not enough for your health. Health insurance covered.
Okay, no, we don't push it so far.
All right.
Yeah.
If you were a plumber or maybe to work at Tesco, right?
Tesco worker.
Like just a general
Welcome
guy.
to Tesco!
I think those are still okay because that's out of my comfort zone. But it's like I would allude it not to like looking at it is like I don't like it's a low social. It's a respectful job.
Right.
Like, it's still honorable that you you are helping us clean the sewage. But I guess it's like personal preference. I would like allude it to myself. Like think of it like you wouldn't want to go and be a marine biologist because you're scared of the waters. I'm just scared of.
Correct.
Yeah, no. Like if you think like I think and again, it's not in no disrespect to any of these jobs, right? Some of these jobs actually pay more than our theatre actor friends.
Oh,
just to
definitely.
put some social stigma there, right? Like people would go down and become a starving artist, right? Then become a road sweeper, for example.
Because media has like made us feel that that's more worthy.
Yeah, I'm suffering for the art, right? The kind of thing. And who do you guys think started this social stigma? Let's just be honest. Where did it come in society? Parents,
I think it's just parenting.
teachers. It's education, right? We are taught to aim for the best profession, which is doctor. So what? Engineer?
Lawyer.
I mean, if we look at it from a sort of like the compensation standpoint, right? I think maybe that's where, if you trace back, right, that's where the stigma start to develop. Asian parenting, Asian culture, they want you to do well, right? And what does it mean to do well? What is the definition of success? It's usually in the form of money, right? Money and how much you get paid a monthly wage is your definition of how well you're doing as a person. And unfortunately, in our part of the world, Malaysia and Singapore, and the surrounding regions, the jobs that get you a high salary is not the ones that are labor intensive. They're more like knowledge intensive. So it's lawyers, doctors. That's why you have all these sort of like names bubbling up at
Professionals.
the top. Professionals, right?
Professionals.
But I think what's interesting is that has replaced what successful is. Because if I asked you, if you are an accountant in a big firm earning like 5K, like 5 digits, right? Whether that person is happy is a completely different story, right? Whether that person is happy. So if we took it into the context of somewhere in like Australia, a freshly graduated doctor, right, just starting out, done with the housemanship, maybe this person earns like, let's say, close to let's just put a flat number, 7K, 5K ringgit, right?
Okay.
And then you have a plumber in Australia who earns 5K, maybe like ringgit as well, with less hours, less stress.
And less debt, by the way.
Yeah, and less debt as well.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's crazy because we see it on paper, we're like, oh my gosh, I will be a plumber.
But aren't we all part of it? Like just asking you guys, okay? You just say you go out for a 10-year reunion with friends. Do you think it's hard to say or not? Like if everyone asking, hey, what are you guys doing now? Oh,
everyone wants to flex.
I'm a plumber. Is it? Do you feel that
Correct.
that
So,
reflex inside?
I think it's the conditioning that we've had because like to show that you're successful to your peers, you need to have one of the jobs.
Again, there's nothing wrong with being a plumber. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong.
Plumber just is our main.
Correct. No.
Example.
So the point I was making is, let's say flat rate everyone in the room made 10,000 ringgit. But is it still more prestigious to say that I'm a doctor versus I'm a plumber?
Upbringing.
Yeah, it's the upbringing.
Honestly,
man.
if that was a scenario, I would be embarrassed to say I'm the higher profession.
Yeah. I'm a doctor, but I also earn the same amount as you.
That's how my friend felt when I had the same CGPA as him.
Oh.
Sorry, Jeremy.
The point I was going to make.
No,
the
you
point
know,
I was going to
Jeremy,
make, which I feel. The point I was going to make was that something that we can touch on at the end of it is that we can look down or up at these different roles and occupations, but without any of them in society, it will still crumble.
Yeah.
You can have 10 doctors, but if you have one plumber, you dead, fool.
That's why there's this story about the brain and the anus, right?
Tell me about it.
You know the story about brain and anus? Like the organs of the body was like,
Kids' bedtime story.
the organs of the body were arguing like who's the most
more
important,
important,
you know? And the brain and the brain was like, without me, you all be like don't know what to do, you function. The heart was like, no, if without me, you all literally be dead. Then the lungs was like, without me, you guys all can't function either. And the liver was like, without me, you guys won't be clean. And then they were fighting and fighting. Then the anus was like, hey guys, how about me? And everyone started laughing at the dude, like, who cares about you? And the brain was like, haha, you know what, this you insignificant little thing. And then everyone was joking. And Anus was so angry and so pissed, he didn't shit for 2 weeks. And after he didn't shit for 2 weeks, none of them could literally function.
I love it.
And I love that story so much because you just know wherever you go in the world, the asshole is always in control.
It's true. We have so many
that
stories
was not the moral I was going for, but
that's not the moral.
I'm talking about importance of function.
If you think about it,
yes.
every job has some sort of respect.
Yes.
Like if you don't want to take the cashier job, and if no one takes the cashier job,
then how you gonna pay for shit?
How you gonna pay for stuff?
I mean, there was a point, because I think when I was growing up in high school, I made it a point to enter the service industry because I wanted to try. Become a waiter and then run a freaking McDonald's kiosk, make people M&M McFlurries, enjoy your movie, and then get Chinese uncles talking to me in Malay because I look like a Malay. You gotta get there, to experience it. And honestly, it's really stigma, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, one thing that shocked me the most was, I think, when my friends migrated to Australia, a lot of my friends who literally did everything from architecture to actual science, by the way. I don't know if you guys know what this degree. It's literally smart people stuff, right? Yep. They leave it to work in work as a barista. They leave jobs like this to work in sales. And like, what's that job when you go to a clothes store and sell stuff? Like
thrift store?
No, just a clothes store salesperson.
Like a personal shopper.
There's something like that. There's
retail assistant.
Retail, to work in retail, from actual science, from actual science and architecture to work in retail.
Yeah.
And only in Australia, it's like people don't judge, because some of my plumber friends in Australia are some of the most well-to-do, comfortable people ever. Like 25 years old, house, cars, family, everything done already, I'm like, 25 years old. And I think that's really interesting because they're right beside us. But the stigma there does not exist. But also at the same time, it's a very different society there, I feel, because when your local countrymen start to work these different jobs, instead of the foreign workers, we always take foreign workers for granted.
Yeah.
Like it or not, that's a horrible thing that happens, right? But I guess now we're all faced in this situation where, okay, foreign workers cannot reach here because, COVID, the borders have all been tightened, and now everyone's like, crap, we got to pay people what they're worth. Oh, how the tables have turned. What can we do? Okay, as citizens, what can we do to change this perception of 3D jobs? If you guys were in a place of authority to do it, how do we change this perception? Just off the bat.
So?
I mean, practically, there are a lot of things to look into, right? Like the no-brainer would be to go straight for, okay, compensation. How do I adjust salaries to make sense to our local people to want to do it, right? And it's funny because you mentioned about like overseas, in Australia, and I feel that too every time I get there, right? I'm always like very pleasantly surprised when I'm in the public toilet and then it's a janitor who's like a local, and then even the guy who like drives the garbage truck, they're local, and they don't look miserable. Like they look fine. They just look like they're doing their job. That is actually the biggest
difference.
Yeah.
They are like, let me do this well today, Yeah, that's the truth.
I think for me, a lot of it just boils down to respect, which is kind of what Jeremy mentioned, right? It's recognizing that there's a certain skill set and experience that comes with anything that you do. Like if you ask me realistically, could I clean the toilet like as efficiently and as detailed and as well as like some of the kakaks do? Like no, I couldn't. Not. But that comes with like doing it in practice and in experience, and that's how they kind of like perfect their skill, right? And that comes with everything, every job that we have.
Yeah, it's still practice, it's still a skill.
Yeah, and it's recognizing that respect that the person is doing and that skill set that person has built for their own, regardless of what that job is. Yeah.
Changing perception.
I always when we talk about jobs and like how good they are, I always think about this video I saw on YouTube about this Japanese dude who isn't from Tokyo. He moves to Tokyo. Young guy, like 25, 26. And he says in the documentary, he said, my dream job is to be a house mover. So he joins like, the Japanese, when they move houses. I don't know why I've just been watching stuff like that. They have special boxes and packages and the way that they wrap the house up and all that. And he says that he's so happy because he gets to learn from the best. That he gets to do it. And there's so much pride in his work. And you can see that he's being mentored, and so he hopes one day he'll oversee that branch. And I think about that, I'm like, no one. And we always look at Japanese with the lens that like, wow, these guys are like apex Asians, right? But how come these guys are okay doing jobs like that? How come Malaysia, right? If you go to any joker 25, 26, just graduate from like Taylor's Monash, right? You ask them, hey, you want to be a mover? They'll be like, what the F you were talking, right? And I think it's the perception that maybe there is so much to be done on the corporate level. Of course, like we may not have the tools to be walking into offices and be like, hey, stupid ass crack, raise the salary of the people, right? We can't do that, right? But what we can do is that I feel like among the peers and conversations that you have, I don't want to say I really don't want to use the word normalize because it's such a loosely thrown term today. But I think it's good to encourage people to the fact that jobs are still jobs and society can't function without jobs, regardless of what they are. Yeah. So if the next time you meet somebody, a friend, like I think a very good example was like Jeremy was saying, like reunion, right? You reunion with like your friends, Ming Han said that. You meet your friends and then some guy is like out of a job and he says, oh, I'm just doing some part-time cashier at a cafe now. Like, if people laugh at him, be the one who doesn't laugh. I'm like, what's wrong? Like, what is the issue of that? It's still a job. And if at the end of the day, this person decides to be a cashier for the rest of his life, and he's happy, and he has work-life balance, and he's got the kids, he got hobbies, he has great friends at work, then joke's on you, man. You did your job. You are posting every other day on Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
You are just
that work is toxic, right? I'm like, hey, shut the F up, man. This guy's enjoying life.
Every time's a happy time.
It starts with language.
Oh, gender. Megan, what else can we do?
I think education. That's just it. Like, let's just wrap this up with simple things like when you go to school, or if you're an educator, if you're a parent, or if you're in direct exposure to young kids, it's what you say about jobs. It's what you say about what you want to become next time. And it's never about like, you look at that. If you don't study, you become that. If you don't do this, you become that, you know. I think there was a very nice comic about it, right? You don't study, you become that. Change it into you better study so you can help people everywhere. That's it. I think it's just that simple narrative of don't look down at anyone's trying to make a living, and that's really it, I guess. I think until you are in that position, I think everyone's just trying to do what they can do. A job is an honest way to make a living, to provide for people. But I think it's going to be quite some time to unwork this because, I mean, social studies, jobs were used to divide people. That was it. As a colonized country, we come from that, and that's why also we shun different things because that's one way you divide people so that they don't band up with each other and collaborate and take you on, right? So I think
shut out.
Whether we can overcome that, it is going to happen in the next generation or so, that we need to realize that, there's a lot of things we need to undo from our history of being Malaysians or like in this region to not look at another job as something lower than you because that was used as a tool to divide people. And that's basically it. So yeah, I hope you guys have benefited something from this. No job is a lesser job or a bigger job. And if you're happy and do your job, that's a great career for you. And career fairs should have variety of different jobs.
Gosh.
Career fairs
That's such a good point. Career fairs, someone should just do like how to be a good waiter.
Something that's really tucked away to the corner is all the vocational schools. Last time I remember one, it's always all the the
make
big
that front and center
universities in
and
the
then
center.
Like put the money higher starting pay than others.
But I think this is gonna.
So when I was researching, some people said to help with this problem is to look at apprenticeships.
Right.
So instead of going to uni or whatever, you can look at apprenticeships to learn how to be a plumber. So you go hands on. You be a newbie. They teach you be in your position. Then it's all about experience with these kind of jobs. It's not there's no school for it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot to do the work and then make it. But when it becomes very common to try this out, and it's quite hard to search for apprenticeships. Actually, if you think about it,
Malaysia is hard.
very little accessibility to this kind of information. But I think if it's more open and easy to access, I think people would at least take an interest to it.
Right. I mean, guys, everyone, economy is not the easiest thing. Just respect people doing what they do. Man, what a time, man.
What an interesting podcast. There's definitely a lot of things to discover and unpack here. So if you guys want to maybe listen to us talk more about this in the future, do let us know. That being said though, because Father's Day was yesterday,
absolutely
at the time of this recording, sorry, at the time of the release.
Okay.
Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Yeah.
At this table, raise your hand if you're a father.
Call me daddy.
So, what the shit? Okay,
Literally.
we're going to give Ming Han about 2 minutes or 3 minutes to give us as many dad jokes as he would like.
Can't I use all of them on the team already?
Right.
It's okay. You can repeat some. You can go. I'm gonna maybe put on like some altar call music for this. Hit it.
I'm gonna sit back.
So we are having dinner. Yeah, we're having dinner.
Okay.
Keep on going. We're having dinner. And my wife said, "Hey, kids not eating the vegetables."
Okay.
She asked me like, "Okay, so what do I do?" My wife said, "No, throw it out." Okay. Now I don't know what to do with the vegetables.
Exhaling in the corner. That's good. You okay? Give us another one. Give us that's pretty good.
I got none.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I used a lot already.
They haven't heard it.
They haven't heard it.
What was your favorite one from yesterday?
What's my... I can't. You have to go and look at the content, please. Don't spoil it. I poured out like 20 yesterday, so go and look at the content. Go look for the Father's Day jokes. I'm good. Give me the song recommendation though.
This week's song recommendation is from none other than Yuna, our Malaysian pride and joy. This one's called Make a Move, and it sounds something like this. It is just absolutely a move maker. If I could twerk right now on the table,
I say you can.
This table cannot support my weight.
Support.
Yeah, so
it's
I
not
will
even the table can support. It's just not stable.
It's not. It can't even support this right now. Alright, but go check it out. It's called Make a Move by Yuna on all major streaming platforms. You know what else is on major streaming platforms? Our lovely podcast. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and everything in between, because we have got great episodes lined up for you. We've got new ones coming out as well with brand new content, brand new looks, brand new guests as well.
Oh,
I'm excited.
Oh.
If you want to chip in and give us your 2 cents, get on to discord.gg/takeaway-table.
Hey.
And we will have a great time. That being said, you want to be on discord.gg/takeaway-table, because along with the new season of the Takeaway that's coming, we are going to start doing special invitations.
Okay.
That will only be available to you if you are a discord.gg/takeaway-table
That's
member.
a lot of GGs.
So if you're not on our Discord community, you cannot be invited to these things.
Okay.
It's like how in NFTs there's whitelisting. This is whitelisting.
Okay.
Well, we're whitelisting you.
But you don't have to buy anything.
We do not have to buy anything.
You don't have to mint.
Just join.
Just join.
Free. Okay.
What?
Okay.
Follow us on TikTok.
Oh my lord, we are popping off.
I like to use that word. It's not
Popping.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode today. Follow us on TikTok at Takeaway Table. Stay safe. Take care. Be nice. Be nice, everyone.
Any final words, Sophira?
Don't define people by what they do.
Define people by who they are. That's what Batman says, right?
No, but he said it's not who I am that defines me, it's what I do.
Well, shit.
So we might need
He's
to keep
not
that.
Batman.
Bye.